from? I'm sorry.
My name is Michael Boulware Moore. I'm an associate producer on Defiant and the great-great-grandson of Robert Smalls.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
What did you think of when you first read the graphic novel?
You know, I've been involved with the project for a number of years and knew this was coming, certainly. But to actually see it, to touch it, to see the quality of the art, and to see, you know, I've been working with Rob Edwards, the writer, and you know, I just have seen the care that he has taken in telling the story correctly, and there being real integrity to the history. And so I knew it was going to be, it was just going to be great. But actually seeing it, feeling it, touching it, I think it just takes it to a new level. It's humbling. I'm honored, and I'm excited that this will extend the story to new generations of younger people who otherwise might not have ever heard about the story.
What about the transition to film? How did you approach casting and all of that?
Well, I think, you know, we're in the early stages of that process. I think now, you know, the big push is on creating, you know, as much buzz around the story with the graphic novel, and then let that build into the film project. But I do know that there have been some really fabulous conversations with some A-list, both actors and actresses and directors, and so I'm just excited for that next step as well. I mean, seeing the story up on the big screen will be amazing.
It will be amazing. Because I've been waiting for this. I've been watching it every year here. And any estimated when it's going to be ready?
You know, you can talk to my friends at Legion M, but I think that the project will aggressively move forward. You know, we're at that critical stage where we're getting the right folks. Got to get the director that we want, and I think once that domino knocks over, then I think it's going to happen really quickly.
I'm very excited about it. It's a great story.
Who would be your dream cast?
I can't say. To be honest though, just seeing it on the big screen or seeing it in a Netflix series or something, I just think would be just, again, it's just humbling. You know, I grew up, and for the most of my life, Robert Smalls was kind of lost to history. And now all of a sudden there's this amazing graphic novel, and we're on the precipice of, you know, there being a really fabulous movie project behind it. To me, the detail of who's in it, I think that's just a detail at this point.
Yeah. Has the screenplay been written?
I think the basis of the story, and you can ask Rob Edwards, the writer, the basis of the screenplay is there. I don't think the actual screenplay has been written yet. But the story, I think he will rely heavily on the text of the graphic novel to tell that story.
What's one aspect of Robert Small's life that you think people would find very surprising?
Well, to be honest, there are so many. It's tough to pick just one. I mean, he was the first African American to command a United States naval vessel during the Civil War, because, of course, you know, I think 99% of all African Americans at the time were enslaved, but he was the highest salaried African American in the country. He founded the Republican Party in South Carolina, which at the time was the Party of Freedom, the anti-slavery party of Lincoln. He was a businessman. He, you know, owned a number of businesses, and he created a railroad and was a publisher of a newspaper. And he just came along at a time where the country really required a lot in the way of sort of recalibration to get us past the Civil War. And he stepped in and did an amazing thing. But I'll tell you a quick story. After the Civil War, he actually had an opportunity. He got a reward for delivering the boat that he sailed, the planter, sailing it to freedom. He got a reward, and with that reward, he actually bought the big house that his slave owners had bought. And after the Civil War, his slave master had passed, but his former, the former wife of the slave master came back to the house. She was mentally and physically ill, and she thought she was going back home, but of course it was Robert's home at that point. And there were a lot of ways that Robert could have dealt with that, even sort of charitable ways in trying to take care of her or whatever, but he brought her in. He embraced her. He took care of her for the rest of her life, even allowing her to, sleep in the master bedroom, allowing her to think that she was still the lady of the house. So, to me, coming on the heels of the Civil War, a time when we were dramatically even more divided than we are today, for him to sort of acknowledge the humanity of that situation, of this person who, let's be honest, a few years before that, thought of him as a piece of property. And I just think that speaks to his character and just to his sense of humanity. So I think that's an interesting story.
Will the film touch on any other aspects besides what's in the graphic novel? In other words, backstory, what became of them, what they're doing, back and forth.
There may be some sort of permutations that go off in different directions, but I think the gist of the story will be what's in the graphic novel. There may be some creative license that in writing a screenplay that it may just become evident that they need to spend a little bit more time on it, but I think the gist of the story is as it is.
His story sounds almost like a series. Which would be, I think, fabulous, because there's so much rich history, as you were saying, what he did. I mean, he did so many things. That's why I was so happy when this came up. I was like, yes, please let me do it. He was just pretty much like a jack of all trades. It was incredible. And like you said, at that time, when, African Americans were, 1/5 of a human, or even to be able to do everything and anything that his rights owners, slave owners did, is just mind-blowing.
And that's something that I have always really held on to and been impressed with. Society tried to put him in this little box. It said that he was a person that, during slavery certainly, that wasn't a citizen, wasn't really even considered a full human being, was in many corners in the South at least considered a beast of burden. But he allowed himself to dream big dreams and then had the audacity to just go ahead and to try to execute it and to make those things happen. So yeah, it's an amazing story, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of an effort to bring that more to light.
Have major studios expressed an interest? What's going on there?
Well, Legion M is the company that we're working with, and again, we've had some amazing conversations with A-list everybody, actors, actresses, directors, and so Legion M has this really innovative, sort of fan-powered, crowdsourced kind of investors, and that's going to be the company that brings it to life.
So the money's there to make it happen.
I will just say that we're feeling really good right now.
It's got to happen. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Great question.